Why is everyone yelling in here?
Because you've just walked into the first coffee house. In about 7 minutes, this one bitter little bean is going to invent the newspaper, the stock market, and the modern revolution. And a king is going to try to ban it and lose in 11 days.
I just wanted a quiet beer.
Nobody gets a quiet beer. Let me show you how a penny cup of coffee accidentally built the modern world. Here is the problem with the old world. For centuries, the water in a crowded town could kill you. So everyone, all day, drank the safe thing. Weak beer, ale, wine. Europe was, gently, always a little drunk.
So the entire Middle Ages was just mildly buzzed.
Then, in the 1600s, a new drink arrives from the Ottoman world. It is dark, it is bitter, it is boiling hot. And it does the opposite of beer. It makes you sharp, awake, alert. For the first time in history, there is a public place where you go not to get drunk, but to get focused. And that changes everything about what happens in the room.
You're telling me civilization was waiting on a caffeine patch?
Not the caffeine, Stan, the room. Coffee did not make Europe smart. It gave Europe a place to argue while sober. And that turned out to be far more dangerous. They called it the Penny University. 1 penny to get in. No assigned seats. And a rule that shocked everyone. Rank did not matter at the table. A lord and a shoemaker could argue as equals.
A room where nobody had to respect me. Delightful.
People came to hear the news, so the coffee houses started printing the news. The newspaper is born in these rooms. So is the idea that ordinary people are entitled to an opinion about the government, and then it gets specialized. Merchants and sailors gather at one coffee house called Lloyd's to bet on which ships come home. They write their names under the risk. Underwriters. That coffee house becomes Lloyd's of London.
My local cafe grew up to be a global insurance empire.
At another, called Jonathan's, men trade shares so loudly they get thrown out of the Royal Exchange. So they just keep trading in the coffee house. That room becomes the London Stock Exchange. A penny room, open to anyone, had quietly become the newsroom, the trading floor, and the debating hall of the entire country. And the people in charge began to get nervous. Because a room where anyone can say anything is a terrifying thing if you are a king. And in 1675, King Charles II decided he'd had enough. He issued a proclamation to shut down every coffee house in England. He called them nurseries of sedition, places where malicious and scandalous reports were spread about the government.
He's not wrong. That is exactly what we do in here.
And here is the moment the modern world announces itself. The public simply refused. The outrage was so total, so immediate, that the king had to back down. The ban was supposed to last forever. It lasted 11 days.
The regulars beat the king, with complaining.
A monarch who ruled by divine right had just been overruled by a room full of people who liked to argue over a hot drink. Power had quietly moved from the throne to the table, and it was never going back. Cross to Paris, and the rooms get sharper still. The police are so frightened of the cafes that they fill them with spies. Informers, called flies, sit at the tables writing down what people say.
Imagine being so scared of a coffee shop you have to bug it.
It doesn't save them. On the 12th of July, 1789, a young man named Camille Desmoulins climbs onto a table outside the Café de Foix and calls the crowd to arms. 2 days later, the Bastille falls. Coffee did not cause the French Revolution. Centuries of hunger and injustice did that. But the room where the argument happened, the room where strangers learned to demand a say, that room was the cafe.
So, the comment section has a body count.
The cheap public room beat the palace. And the strangest part is that the room never closed. You are still in it right now. Still caffeinated, still reading, still arguing with strangers about what is true. Next time. A sweet white crystal so profitable that empires will enslave millions to grow it. The calorie that built the modern world and paid for it in blood.
Please tell me I'm not in that one.
Nobody gets a quiet beer, Stan.